Today, we are digging into a question that's on pretty much every tech professional's mind. How in the world do you build a resilient career when agentic AI is changing the entire game? We're going to map out the real risks, pinpoint the human skills that are basically irreplaceable, and then give you a clear roadmap to not just survive, but actually thrive.
Okay, so let's just get right to it. The big question that's keeping people up at night. The anxiety is totally real, and the pace of change is, let's be honest, faster than anyone really predicted. But is this fear of mass job replacement, is that even the right way to be thinking about this?
And look, that concern is completely valid. The potential for disruption is, well, it's staggering. Some recent analysis shows that generative AI could automate tasks that take up, get this, up to 70% of an employee's time. Just let that sink in for a second. 70%. We're not talking about a small change, we're talking about a fundamental shift in how work gets done.
And this is the most crucial point. This is not about entire jobs just vanishing overnight. It's about task decomposition. Agentic AI isn't coming for your job title. It's coming for the predictable, the repetitive, the rule-based tasks inside your job. The real resilience of your role is going to be defined by what's left over, the proportion of non-automatable stuff you do.
And the technology that's driving this massive shift is what we call agentic AI. And this is a huge leap, way beyond simple automation. We're talking about autonomous systems that can actually plan, execute, and even refine really complex multi-step workflows across a bunch of different platforms. This makes AI not just another tool for productivity, but a core strategic lever that can completely re-engineer entire business processes.
So, how do you figure out your own personal career risk in all of this? Well, let's introduce a really powerful framework for this. The U-curve of value. It's a fantastic way to visualize where the danger zones are, and more importantly, where you can find safety. The U-curve basically shows that career safety is found at the two poles. So on one end, you have specialized manual and physical roles. On the other end, you have executive roles that need deep human skills like empathy and strategic leadership. But that big dip in the middle of the U, that is the red zone. It is full of the rote application of rules and repetitive analysis, which are, you guessed it, prime targets for automation. And the speed of this change is just intense, especially in core tech fields. Just look at software development. Some projections show that AI could be writing over 95% of all code by 2030. Now, that doesn't mean engineers are going to disappear. It just means their role is going to be completely redefined, shifting away from pure execution towards something totally new.
And you can see this pattern pretty much across the board. The value is shifting upwards. So for developers, it's becoming less about the code itself and more about the architectural blueprint. For data scientists, it's not about wrangling data anymore, but about the ethics and the strategy behind the models. And for product teams, it's about moving way beyond simple reporting to actually designing the entire AI-powered experience. The theme is totally consistent. You have to move from execution to strategy.
So, if all the automatable tasks are at risk, where do we focus? This brings us to the path forward. Identifying and building up the core human skills that AI simply cannot touch. These are the pillars of your career resilience. This quote just perfectly captures the core idea. AI is absolutely brilliant at execution, but it lacks genuine understanding. It can't deal with messy, ambiguous problems. It definitely can't feel empathy, and it can't ask those big why questions. That space, that will always belong to us. So, the first pillar of resilience is our capacity for complex human judgment. This is especially critical when you're facing creative challenges or, these tough ethical dilemmas. An autonomous agent just can't reliably weigh all the nuanced trade-offs or navigate the moral gray areas that define real strategic decision-making.
The second is strategic systems thinking. This isn't about configuring a single tool. It's the ability to design how multiple, complex, automated systems all integrate with each other. It's about managing those high-level risks, like deciding between a multi-cloud deployment or the dangers of vendor lock-in. It's really about seeing the entire forest, not just the individual trees. And the third, and maybe most indispensable pillar, is the human interface. Leadership, influence, emotional intelligence. An AI can process social cues from data, but it can't build genuine trust or manage stakeholder anxieties or sell a compelling strategic vision to a leadership team. That takes real human connection. And this table here, it breaks down exactly why these human skills are so durable. AI struggles with strategy because it just can't handle the endless what-ifs, and the cost of being wrong is just too high. It fails at ethics because it has no real empathy. And it fails at leadership because it's only simulating social cues, it's not feeling them. There's no genuine emotional intelligence there.
Okay, so what jobs actually embody these resilient skills? If you're planning your next career move, these are the roles that are projected to be the safest and most valuable by 2030. Think of this as your career's North Star.
These 5 domains are structurally protected from automation because they all lean so heavily on those human pillars we just talked about. You've got strategic oversight and governance, that big picture systems thinking and architecture, managing complex uncertainty in roles like site reliability engineering, or SRE, and machine learning operations, which we call MLOps, and, of course, that deep empathy in product design.
We can even think about these roles in different tiers of resilience. At the very top, in Tier 1, you have the strategists, the architects and governance experts who are setting the overall direction. Tier 2 is all about keeping the lights on for these incredibly complex AI systems, which is what MLOps and SREs do. And then Tier 3 is that crucial human bridge, where product managers and designers translate human needs into something the AI can actually understand and act on.
Okay, this brings us to the most important part of our explainer today, a clear, actionable plan to deliberately move your career from that vulnerable middle of the U-curve out to the resilient, high-value edges.
Your personal upskilling roadmap should really focus on these 3 critical areas. First, you have to master the new technical skills for the AI era. Think prompt engineering and agent building. Second, you need to gain deep expertise in the responsible and ethical AI domain. This is absolutely non-negotiable. And third, you have to double down on honing those irreplaceable human-centric skills: leadership, creativity, and strategic communication.
So here it is, a simple 3-step strategy you can start today. First, be really honest and assess your current tasks. Which ones fall into that automatable red zone? Second, proactively master AI tools as your collaborators. Use them to automate your own grunt work so you can free up time. And third, and this is the most important part, reinvest that time in cultivating the uniquely human skills that will always differentiate you and create lasting value.
So, the crucial point we'll leave you with is this question. Take a hard look at your daily work and ask yourself, where do my tasks fall on this U-curve? Because understanding where you stand today is the single most important first step toward building a truly resilient and valuable career for tomorrow.